everybody, it's Monday. So once again, I'm here kicking off your week's episodes of The Den. Alright, go ahead with a little intro. This week on The Den is viewer Q&A week, so we put some posts up and we took your guys' questions. Now, I'm not going to go through the business of tagging everybody and naming everyone who posted questions because it's a lot of the same people who've done it previously. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for helping us out. We appreciate it. So we're going to be fielding some of your questions. And then I have something else really important that I need to talk about that happened to a friend of mine that I will get to afterwards. Don't let me forget. I'm not going to do a whole ton because we're trying to keep these videos a little bit shorter than they used to be because I don't want to take up 10 minutes of your time every day because that's a lot, I feel like. So we're going to keep it brief. All right, so question number one comes from somebody who posted on, I think, Aaron's wall. So whoever, thank you. It's, if you led a double life, what would your other life be doing? So it didn't take me a lot of thought. I would definitely be robbing banks with my double life. That's what I would do. I would rob banks and use that to finance my primary life and my family. But when I was robbing banks, I wouldn't be that main dude who's making the plans and leading the whole operation. No fucking way. I'd be one of the sidekick guys that just rolls in, loads the vehicle, maybe detonates some explosives, monitor some hostages, And I don't want to take all the credit. I don't really care. I just want to make a nice tidy profit and then just keep pulling money out of nowhere in my regular life and, go on extravagant vacations and get a really nice house and enjoy it. Also, I'm pretty confident that if I started just pulling money out of nowhere and my boyfriend was asking questions about it, I could just say, I'm not selling drugs or anything, but it's just better if you don't know. Point is, we're making a shit ton of money. Just go with it. I feel like he'd be fine. Probably pretty psyched about it, actually. So that's what I would do with my double life. Question number two. As a gay man, how do you feel about aging? I think there's a lot of stipulation in quote-unquote gay world about age and about how twinks get put out to pasture at 25 and you might as well stop going out and just die, that you're the equivalent of a spinster by the time you're 30. Personally, I don't really buy into that. I'm into bears and they just get hotter, so I'm not too worried about it. On a personal level, though, for chasers of my particular body type, the future is kind of bleak, so we'll see what happens. And just roll with it, I guess, because that's all you can really do. Question number three is kind of an age-old question. It's why do nice guys finish last? I think the answer has always been because being a badass sells and confidence sells. However, I will finish off with the genuine fact that nice guys, they don't finish last, they finish later. Nice guys, they may not necessarily make the best boyfriends, but they make excellent husbands. So that's where being a nice guy comes into play, and it may take a while to get to that point. It may be longer, and it may happen later, but when it does happen, they're gonna rock it. So question number four that we got, somebody just asks, we post, ask us a question, somebody says anything, so my answer is, yep, pretty much anything. And that leads me into question number five, is body hair a turn on? Are there parts of you that you think should be shaved, etc., manscaping? Personally, I'm pretty indifferent, I've dated guys of all different types. I've dated some really hairy guys, I've dated some not so hairy guys. And it all comes down to how you rock it, If you're self-conscious about not being hairy, then that's going to be a turnoff. If you're self-conscious about being super hairy, then that's going to be a turnoff. But if you're like, yeah, I'm super hairy, check me out, awesome, I'm cool with it. I think you need to maintain a certain level of standard. Don't let it turn into a fucking jungle down there. Keep your shit somewhat maintained, but don't let that shit get out of control. The last question that I'm going to be answering, and I love this question, what is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? What do you mean? An African swallow or a European swallow? Get it? Hopefully, get it? Yeah? Alright, so that's all the questions that I have for today. Now, moving on, I need to talk about something much more pressing that came up on Facebook, and a lot of people were commenting on it, and it's a big deal to me anyway. So a friend of mine, who shall go by the name of Chaserus Prime, my friend Chaserus Prime went to the leather-based event. I guess it was a leather event. The dress code is very lax. You can wear pretty much whatever you want to. Doesn't matter how exposing it really is. It's not uncommon for people to have their junk lying out, which is really, it's not my thing. I'm not all about going to the bar wearing some leather harness that barely covers my assets. I firmly believe in maintaining an air of mystery, but to each their own. I don't think any less of anybody for it. However, my friend Chaserus decided to go to this event wearing his leather harness and a little jockstrap with an uncovered ass, which is, the point of a jockstrap. By the way, props to you, Chaserus Prime. That takes fucking balls. Now, somebody decided to go and greet my friend Chaserus by coming and sticking their finger in his butt. Now, I cannot stress this enough that there is no way that this is not sexual assault. I've read a lot of people trying to be assholes, I guess, and trolling, but there's also some people who are genuinely saying if you're wearing a jockstrap, you're asking for it. And I think that's fucking ridiculous. That's the same as in a man on woman rape case, the man saying, well, she was wearing a bikini, so she was asking for it. Or she was topless, so she was asking for me to grab her tits. That is fucked up and that is wrong. There is a certain line that you do not cross without permission from somebody, explicit permission. There's obvious signs and obvious times where you don't have to say, yeah, it's okay for you to stick your finger in my butt, but it's clear when it comes out of nowhere. It's very obvious. It's not something that's difficult to maintain. It's not a widespread standard. The idea that somebody's decision to wear something is a signal for them to openly be sexually assaulted is non-existent. It's just not even an acknowledgeable thing by law. That's not, it's rape, technically, if you want to go there. So I needed to weigh in on that. I know that there's some conflicting opinions there, and whatever, that's mine. So feel free to post any questions that you might have about my question answers or comments. Feel free to comment on my little story here, weigh in. If you have a conflicting opinion, go ahead. However, if you have an invalid opinion or if you're being rude about it, then I will come down on you like a fucking hammer on a pound of bricks. Alright, that's all I have to say. I hope you guys enjoyed my video, and I will talk to you all next week. I'm losing my voice.